How you
So
doing?
I'm fine, yeah.
Where are
It's
you now,
it's
Juliano? Your place?
Berlândia, Berlândia, yeah,
In Berlin. Okay.
yeah. So
Everything
I
alright?
finished everything. So I'm looking. Maybe I'm doing another master.
Yeah?
Yeah, it starts in December. So I'm trying to. If I can't find another job that please me more or something like this, because it's in
Another master in Brazil?
aerodynamics. Yeah, in
Okay.
Brazil here. Because it's in aerodynamics, so it's kind of really different of structures that I follow in ESMA.
Yeah.
It can be hard
Come to
to.
Germany, bro.
Yeah.
Just bring your girlfriend to Germany and come here.
Yeah, I need the job first to get the visa.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, not
Okay, let me know.
so.
Juan, where are you from?
From Spain,
Spain. Nice. Nice
from
country.
south of Spain. Probably the football teams. Sevilla, Betis.
I know.
So I'm from around there. And you, where you are from?
I'm from Brazil. Uh,
Yeah.
Mato Grosso do Sul. You know?
I know.
Is on states of Brazil.
Okay, okay, that's nice. Juliano, do you want to introduce me a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
what you
the
doing, etc., for me to know a little bit?
yeah. So here are the students of the Engineer of the Future. That's a program that I'm trying to mentor, to teaching them how to how to have some experiences during the courses, during the journey of the university, to explore more a little bit the opportunities they have to play a part in some projects, in some stuff like Engenheiro or the enterprise, the junior enterprise, something like this, to have more experience to come to the end of the university with the opportunity to make a good stage, to have a good internship and maybe a proposal for a job. So here are a couple of them that are in the beginning, like first, second year of engineering here in Brazil. We have 5 years. It's like the preparation and the courses are together. So they are in the end of the preparation or really the beginning. Like Enrique just came to university. Gustavo and Marcos, they are in the second year. Augusto and Luis are in the end of the first year. So they are really in the beginning of the courses, and
Okay.
they are trying to understand all the possibilities they have, and some of them want to make the internship, want to go to France to study. So they want to have the information about how is life there, or how can they grow. And one of the parts is the networking with people of around the world. They have to learn English, they have to learn French. And I thought, okay, I can bring some of my friends to have a conversation with them, just to talk about this the market, or the way the courses go in France, Spain, the differences between work there or work in another country. Like you know a couple of your friends that work in Spain, couple of that still in France, and you are in Germany, so you are the one that I thought that have more possibilities to talk about. And I asked them to make some questions, like put that in paper. I don't know if everyone has the same English level, so maybe they don't understand some parts, or I don't know. But I think they will manage well.
Just do it
So
in Portuguese then, no?
yeah, one can talk something. Maybe Spanish also can help, but it's also a challenge for them to understand that if they are living in another country, they have to speak the language all the time. So it's one of the challenges about making the internship, and they have to understand this from now. Like, okay, I'm going to France in a couple years, in a couple months. I don't know,
Yeah.
I have to speak French every day for solving problems to from have breakfast to going to sleep. So it's important also. So I would just ask you to introduce yourself with where you studied in graduation after the masters and stuff. Or how do you came to France, and then how is your experience in this first year of engineering life in Airbus in Germany?
Okay.
How things change. So we can start with this, and then they can make some
Yeah.
questions for you to understand more.
Yeah, I prepared a couple of slides just to guide us, but yeah, we can jump directly to the last part after where we talk about the experience at ESMA, France, etc. And guys, feel free to ask whatever. Like Juliano was my best friend there in France. It's like this is nothing formal. It's we're just talking about whatever, and just feel free to ask whatever you're interested in and cut whenever. So I'll share just a second. I'll just sorry, tell you about my background a little bit, just for you to know a little bit who you're talking with and what have I done. Can you see it in presentation mode now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to full screen?
Yeah.
Well, there I leave also the LinkedIn profile just in case somebody's interested. But well, I studied aerospace engineering in Spain. I did the bachelor degree there in Sevilla, in the south of Spain, which is more or less generic aerospace engineering degree, and I went for the specialty of aircraft design. But then I decided to do this master, this generic master, where we learn basically everything that we left behind by selecting the specialty in the bachelor, in the previous bachelor. And I decided to go for this master in Spain because it then allowed me to go on this double degree diploma where I went to France. So I did this program that consists on studying a master that usually takes 2 years in Spain, and then another one that takes 2 years in France. So and I just did 1 year in Spain, went to France in the second year, and did another year and a half, I think, yeah. And by with these 2 years and a half, I already got this master in Spain and this the other master in France. In France, I joined what is called Diploma Ingénieur. We can later also talk about different possibilities that you can do over there. You can also go there for a master. This is more like a bachelor degree, which I think they consider it as a master level in France. I
Yeah.
think, but well, more or less, I think it's level of bachelor degree, which is ours was mechanical engineering, more or less focused on our space engineering as well. And they went in the last year. You're up to decide for which specialty you go, and that's a huge difference also with the studies in Spain. Here you choose a specialty, and it really marks what you will do later. Let's say you will see how this also how what I did in France impacted also my career afterwards. But I went for data engineering basically because it was the most different thing as I was doing before. In Spain, I did a generic one, spacecraft, space engineering, a lot of fluid mechanics, structures, etc. And this one was a bit different. So I went for this data engineering, and also in France, during the last year, they allow you to do an extra master's degree, sorry, which is a short one. And just correct me, Juliano, I think it costed like 200 euros, something like this. So
Yeah, 200 euros.
you pay some extra fee, or you're allowed to do this special extra master that I did in big data, which is normally related to the specialty you're doing. And it takes just like a month or 2 months or something like this.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting as well. Yeah. And well, after that, just to show you a bit what I've done so far. During my studies in France, I did a couple of internships. First one, I just went back to Spain. I wanted to go to my place in summer, so I just found an internship next to my place. Spent summer there in program management, which which is basically organizing and scheduling all the tasks that are going to be done in the manufacturing line. You monitor KPIs, you work with SAP, and basically you program, depending on what your company does, you program more or less the workflow of the manufacturing line. Yeah. And then last year of the master in France, I went for an internship in Munich, in Germany. You can see that even if you go to France first to study, then you can go wherever. There are a lot of possibilities that are open later. Also, it's important to know that French guys, they are well known in Europe as well. So once you study there, especially in space, in the aerospace sector, well, you know Airbus here. It's the biggest company, let's say, and it's half French, half. It's not half. It's there are different countries that are part of it, but the biggest parts are Germany and France. But actually, France, they are always there. It's most of the managers are from France. But well, I decided to go to Germany because I've never been there and I wanted to know the country. And Munich is a beautiful city as well, so it was a great opportunity. And I worked there as a data scientist in the communications department, which is not something normal, but it was cool because I had a lot of possibilities. I could do whatever I wanted, more or less, yeah, and gave me a great overview of the company because I was meeting a lot of people every day, just getting data from them, and we build some tools for them, some dashboards as well for them to track their data and created some databases in a department where the data skills are very limited. So it was interesting, and then I found a job, a full-time contract, also here in Germany. Started working here 1st of January this year, so it's been well, almost 10 months now. And I work here as a database architect, and I'm the database expert in my team, and I also develop software. My team, we work in the space sector, so I'm part of Airbus Defense and Space, but in the space part, and we are the engineering team of ground software. So it's called Ground Solutions, something like this. So basically, we work in some space programs. You may know, well, in the ISS, there's the European module, which is called Columbus. So we work with this one. We call them missions. So we are also now working with Orion, the spacecraft that will take the astronauts from the Earth to the spacecraft that will be orbiting the moon. And also, I joined 2 months ago. Yeah, I joined Starlab, which is the Airbus project for a new commercial space station, new ISS, let's say. And it's been, well, we still have some competitors, but it's in a contract by NASA. Now we are 4 companies, something like that. Not only companies, but ventures of different big companies that are developing this project. And we are currently in the PDR phase, which is the preliminary design review phase, which is due at the end of this year, where we will present the results to NASA. And then next year is the phase, there's a phase called the critical design review, where we present more stuff to NASA again, but they decide that now which company will carry out this mission, and to whom are they giving the money to bring this commercial space station again to space. And I don't know, more or less. I think. What do you think, Juliano? Enough,
Yeah.
more or less. Sorry, I talk a lot about myself.
No,
I,
no, no, no. That's the meaning of this conversation. I'm really trying to give them the visualization like of the many possibilities and the different people they can meet during this internship, this exchange in France or wherever they achieve to go. Many of them will have the opportunity to make the same thing of me, like the BRAFTEC in Ensma or Toulouse, but others maybe can't. So, but they also want to study abroad, so they are really trying to understand how they can do it. Like maybe simple things like can I study in English in France or in Germany? I don't have to learn French. Even these small things can help them, and I think some of the things I say came with my experience. So if they can just listen for another experience, they can
Yeah,
have
yeah, for sure.
more. They can be more sure that it's really the things that they are going to find. And just to complement the education part, for you guys to understand, it's really fast. In France, it's really fast everything, and in Europe in general, uh, if you make an engineer degree, you can at the same time finish with the master, and like me and Juan, we want, we could do a doctorate directly, and in 6 years of study, you can be a doctor in France. Like you do the 3 years of engineering together with the master in the last 2 years. So you finish masters in 3 years, and then you do a TESIF. They call like this, that it's a doctorate with some companies or with some universities, and in 3 years you can make the doctorate, and you are a doctor with 6 years. So a guy with my
That's
age,
even crazy for Spain. You can't do that in Spain.
okay, a guy with my age can be a doctor from with 2 years of experience. Like I just finished graduation, and the guy in France can be a doctor with 26 years. So it's really fast. And then if you finish one of the top engineers university in France, you will be an engineer in some enterprise. There's no analyst, junior, some blah blah blah. You'll be an engineer. Like you have a contract of engineer, you sign like an engineer. You have a lot of opportunities and a lot of big companies that will make a contract of engineer for you. Like when you are in the internship, they want to contract you like directly. You finish the internship on Friday, on Monday you are an engineer with a contract of a couple thousands of euros a year contract, and it's like it's super fast with university master, a couple years of experience, you can be directly an expert or the reference of your team. So it's different here in Brazil, and sometimes we want to talk about Spain also. You have a slow career, like so many steps, so many years to achieve something that it's maybe your dream right now. So when you guys came to me and, oh, how's the market, will I have an opportunity or not, when will I get 10k of reais a month or something like this, it's really hard to explain. And in France it's easier to visualize the career like this. It's easier to understand how the process goes, and I think in Germany it's something. It's like France, even in a French company. So it's like the French, like the French system.
We
So
can
that's
talk
why
also
a
about
lot of.
the. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. That's another topic I didn't include here, but the possibilities for a career afterwards. It's also it's interesting to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to finish. That's why a lot of guys that do the Braftech or something like this wants to stay in France. It's just because the career is more clear, it's more easy to understand, and it's more predictable. So okay, in a couple of years I will have my official document of France. I can be a French civilian, and I will have a career in the engineers or something like this. They have a contract that's called. Contract de
Which one?
duration indéfinie, le CDI,
Is it
that
there?
is a it's like a public job. Like it's
It's just a full time contract. I guess it's an unlimited contract. Just it happens here in Germany as well. Like since the beginning, for instance, what I did, like you're offered directly an unlimited contract. So it doesn't. You're not offered like first 2 years test contract or whatever. Directly, the contract is unlimited. So you're already linked with the company and forever. And if they want to sack you, it's not as easy, you know. So it's great.
Yeah.
It's not a temporary contract. And I think in Spain it's also. I think all in Europe it's being regulated right now, and yeah, it's mandatory for them to offer you that.
Yeah, you can continue to study in France.
No, yeah, this one I just wrote some words there because I guess the questions are going to be about these topics, but we
Yeah.
can just cover them randomly or the order
Okay.
that you want, or do you want to go for the question first? Or
Yeah, yeah. If someone has have some questions, you can do it. Yeah.
yeah, Augusto.
First, I would like to thank you for joining us this conversation. I think I've never talked with English with someone that doesn't speak Portuguese. So my first question,
Well, I speak a bit. No,
because of
no.
Juliano,
Yeah.
uh, that's cool. My first question, I prepared it before the meeting. Uh, Here in Brazil, I think every engineer has to have it's called CREA. It's a console that allows you to sign papers, project papers. In Europe, has something like this, like a console that after you graduated, you have to join this console, and every project that you do or you have to sign, you have to be allowed to do it, or is not something like that?
I don't think so. It's
Yeah.
not something.
No, there's nothing about it. In Europe, your sign, it's like it's your life in the paper. It's really something that you have to be. There's not even the one. There's not even the I don't want to speak in Portuguese. But there's not even the one that when you do a sign you have to put some stampers or something like this. That doesn't exist. If you sign a paper, it's official. It's your name that is in there. So when you have the diploma, when you are really working and you are with a CDI with the enterprise, you have to do it. Like if you sign, it's signed. There's no CREA, there's no cartório, nothing like this. If you sign,
Yeah, I
it's
haven't heard of a console like that or something like that. No.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, again. But no, no, I haven't heard of it. And
Juan.
do you want to keep asking questions?
Hi,
Oh, Hannah, how you doing?
Juan.
Juan,
Agora responde.
Okay.
Yeah,
Como você tá?
my
How are
question,
you?
fine, thanks.
my
Yeah,
question
okay.
is about the course of studying at European University.
Mhm. The coast. Well, so it depends on how you come here. So I guess there are some programs if you are directly linked to this kind of program that has a partnership with a European university, as Juliano did. I think it's almost free, and I have to say that in general, universities here they are public, and there are a lot of help from the government to study here. I'm not sure about how does it work for guys who come directly from Brazil or from America in general. But I guess to come here and to be able to have everything for free, you will need some kind of partnership with your university, with your source university. But yeah, it's not something very expensive. From my side, like I've studied, you've seen, like I've studied many years. Everything was for free, almost for free. I've paid like less than 100 euros per year here studying at university, even in Sevilla and in France as well. Because when I went to France, I have this partnership with my Spanish university. However, I do know that some guys from Brazil that came there to ESMA, Juliano can tell that they came by themselves. So, but that happens. If you go by yourself to a private university, you have to pay. That's it. Then I'm not pretty sure how the government helps you when you do it, Juliano.
Yeah, but I already explained to them, but sometimes it's hard to understand because there's two different things that's the tax free of ENSMA, like the university they have year tax, a year fee that you have to pay. That's a couple of €100, like
I
600,
think it was
700.
around 700, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is guaranteed that UFU and ESMA you can have it for free, but the other part is how you live there, like your house, the food and stuff like this. Sometimes you don't have the money, like if you're not in Braftech or CAPS or Erasmus or something like this, you have to pay it for yourself. So uh, you can live there with 400, 500 euros if you are a student because the loan is really cheap. Like the government gives you some part of the loan with CAF. You can live in the student residence, so this makes your life easier in the question of money. But you have to pay for your food, you have to pay for another
Mhm.
internet stuff like this. But with 400, 500 euros, you can live a limited life, but you can make your study. And then when you go to the internship, you can have some salaries of 1,200,
Mhm.
1,300 euros. It's not crazy like to have this. I had this, Juan had this, and you can live better. Like you can have a better life in the last 6 months, and then you can try to work there or something like this. But
And
that's the
yeah, yeah.
difference.
Hmm. And we can even throw some numbers about the cost of living, not only the university, but to give you an overview more or less. Like the residence there, normally, if you go for a public one, which is what usually we all do, it can cost around three to 400, let's say, a month, and you're usually given by the government around 150, let's say, euros.
Yeah.
So it will be like actually you spend like around 200 euros a month, let's say, in the only in accommodation. Then also to give you an overview, eating there costs in the university restaurant, which is where everybody eats every day, have lunch. It's 3 euros, around 3 euros something
Yeah.
every meal, and yeah. Then the Wi-Fi contract normally you pay 20 euros, something like that, a month. What else can you spend? Normally you have the public transport ticket,
Yeah.
which costs around 20, 30 euros a month, I guess. Yeah.
If you
Then I would,
if you're just
yeah.
trying to survive or have a normal life, it's not expensive. It starts to be expensive if you want to travel to dinner in restaurants or something like this. It gets really expensive really fast. Like restaurants and stuff like this are expensive. But if you have a
Mhm.
normal life, if you do just the university and pay the bills like the normal ones, it's not that expensive. Maybe here in Uberlândia we spend the same amount of money, or
Mhm.
something closer, like with 1,000 reais or 2,000 reais. You can start to think about living in France. It's not that far, and then you can if you go there with no sponsorship or something like this, you can also talk in ESMA to have the lunch, instead of 3 euros for 1 euro. You can have some solutions that they also have programs for the guys that have less money in France life or something
Mhm.
like this.
Yeah,
So
and I have to say that France, if you compare it with Spain, where I come from, and then even with Germany, even if Germany is a bit more expensive, France is expensive. Like I always take into account the price of the beer, and France is expensive.
yeah.
Like, however, what happens usually in these engineering schools in France is that they have this campus life. So everything is in there. You can find there like everything. So the parties are in the campus. You have a gym there, which you can use for free. You have a football field. You have basketball courts. You have a lot of equipment for you. You can play. What else can you play there? I don't know, table tennis, badminton, wherever. Everything is for free. It's true that you pay a fee a year, like well, at the beginning, for them to organize all the parties, etc. You pay some couple of €100 or 100 euros,
Less
something
than
like that.
200, yeah, something.
Yeah, but then like and from the experience of people around there, like 95% of the parties they go to are parties organized in the campus,
Yeah.
and there like beer is cheap, cocktails are free. No, not free, but they are cheap, and everything is more, let's say, prepared for students. So it's not that every time you are going out, you're going to a club there like in Paris or something, that you're spending like €10 the cocktail. No, there normally the beers were a couple of euros, and yeah, shots were €1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not that difficult to live there.
Okay, okay.
And then yeah, the sport part is amazing because normally you would have to pay a partnership for a gym or a partnership for a football club, or I don't know, if you play tennis, will have to buy a racket and balls or whatever, and then you have everything,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Everything.
Yeah, that's another thing. The university there, they have money. Like in France, I think they are kind of private. So the facilities, the equipment, and everything is very good. I studied there data science, and I have to say, well, we were in a class. Each of us had like a couple of monitors, like very good computers. And in Spain, for example, we don't have that in the public university.
Yeah, that part is hard for them to understand that I never used my laptop in Europe. Like never ever, never touched my computer. They have each class has a computer for you with the programs you need for that class. Like in the structures laboratory, you have a computer with ANSYS, Abacus, stuff like this, SolidWorks. In the thermodynamics laboratory, you have a computer with ANSYS Fluent, CFD, stuff like this. In the data science, you have a computer with Java, C++, stuff like this that you need, the programs you need. So you really, if you don't want to touch your notebook, if you don't want to study at home, you don't need it. Like you have the library with a lot of computers that you can do your essays, your all the research you need. You have the printer, you have the books, you have everything. And then if you want to live inside the university, you just need to bring your bed because they have everything there, from esports to study facilities and food, stuff like this. And like Juan said, the bar, the students bar is inside the university, and all the parties are there. And during the day you can go there just to chill, just to drink a coffee. We were
Coffee
there
was 20
every day.
cents, I guess. Also, how was it? How much was it, the coffee? It was 20 cents or
20
10 cents.
cents 20 cents the espresso. And just for comparison, like in Paris, you can go for an espresso like this, it's 5 euros, 6 euros. So it was 20 cents. Like we had coffee every time, every class. We have 15 minutes of break between every class. We are always there bringing some coffee or just talking about uh, anything, playing pool. Me, Juan, and Timoteo, the other guys like this, we played pool 200 years of class. Like we are always there. So it's really interesting. It's really crazy. How can you just pay the simple bills like the low one? The If you want, you can have lunch and dinner from the restaurant. So you just buy it. It will be 7 euros, and then you have to go to the supermarket just to buy your breakfast or something like this. And if you don't want, they always bring croissant and pain chocolat and stuff like this for carve in the first break. So you can have breakfast in the first break in the university. So you don't need to go to the supermarket if you don't want. And of course, you have to have food in the weekend or stuff like this, so you probably need to go there. But like, you can have a really easy life and not expensive at all. And with 400, 500 euros, you can have a limited life in terms of pleasure, like restaurants, travel, and stuff like this. But you can live there. You can have the student's life experience inside the university, like Juan said,
Mhm.
a gym, food court, handball, a gymnasium. You can do whatever you want, and all the these students facility. Should I buy a new computer or stuff like this? You really don't need it. So it's not the place you put your money. Like, it's really different.
Yeah, but it's really, I believe it's worth it also to spend some time if you're planning to go there, talking to your university and asking for different possibilities that you may have as partnerships. Because, well, for instance, we have the experience of this ENSMA in Poitiers in France, but there are many others in France. So just not focus on just going to one specific university there or one place in particular, but just ask your university and figure out how to get a partnership on some kind of help like this because it can make a difference. I mean, even if it's just he's talking about 500 euros, so even if it's just that, if they are giving you that and these 500 euros, you get them and you get to spend them in something else is also higher quality for you.
Yeah.
So I would really spend some time and some effort trying to figure out how to get a partnership and how to get some help from the university because I'm pretty sure that each of them because are they all from Uberlandia from the your same one
Yeah,
the
many of
university.
them. Just Mateos. Mateos is from another city, but the other six
Mhm.
are from
So
Berlin.
yeah, maybe or maybe you can even encourage if you are starting now, you have still time like in terms of years for them to prepare. Just
Yeah.
encourage the university to find some of these partnerships or
Yeah,
contact
they
the
have they
French
have some
university.
different programs. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Now we're talking about France, but Germany is also a good option as well. And Germany, for example, has the advantage of the language. Not well, not exactly because German is more difficult, but everybody speaks English here. So also another experience. I came here, as I said, for the internship. I didn't speak a shit of German, like nothing, and I was able to do my internship here and to live here. Now I'm learning and improving, etc. But you can live here without speaking a word of German. However, in France, you may start learning a bit before. It's really a help, and you will need it in the future for all the paperwork and well, I think it's very important to have worked a little bit your French before going there. Even if Juliano, when you came, you didn't speak much, right? Like, but you improved a fucking lot. Eh?
Oui, c'était super difficile quand je suis arrivé là-bas parce que tout le monde parlait le français, c'était même en overdose, c'était un truc de ouf. Mais, mais au fur et à mesure, ça commence à avoir des sens. Les premiers examens, c'était super difficile. J'ai même eu deux devant en mécanique des fluides. J'ai même pas réussi à lire les polis. Mais ouais, c'est important de comprendre le français d'abord, avant de partir. Même si c'est un niveau intermédiaire, un truc comme ça, c'est super important.
You see, like somebody who like arrived there with a let's say low level of French, Juliano. I don't want to hurt you, but it's the truth, like the
Yeah.
truth. But and after a year and a half, he speaks super fluent. It's crazy. But at least to have worked a little bit, I would recommend you to do it.
Yeah, I tell it to them. You have
Do
to.
you speak
You,
French
you
just in
need.
case the
They are
that's
learning,
it.
yeah. Yeah, they are
Okay,
learning.
okay.
But you
Donc tu
have to
parles
have you need the vocabulary. You need some simple stuff like present yourself or introduce yourself, even to make the contact, and after you have to say, all right, can we speak a little of, can we try to speak English just to understand or something like this. Inside the university maybe you will find some of the other young guys that speaks English, But when you go outside the university,
You won't.
it gets really harder. You won't find people that speak English with, I don't know. When I was there, if I try to find someone with more than 30 or 35 years that speak English, it was really hard, or they just don't want, because they know that they cannot have a conversation in English. They can't
And you
answer
have to think
and
about the
respond in
social
English.
part. Yeah, you have to think about the social part of it. Like, of course, you can go there without speaking a lot of French, and you will have probably international friends, some French guys that will be your friends. But it opens you a lot of possibilities, like speaking the language. You'll meet more people. You'll be able to do more stuff. For example, we were part of a football team, and we were speaking French while we were playing football, which is something crazy because you may think that you have a good level or something, but then you're playing and you need to think quick and you have to speak quickly, and it's great. But then also, once you're able to speak their language, you're able to become closer to the guys around there. Imagine if I go there to Brazil, it's the same. I don't speak a shit of Portuguese. Yeah, you'll be with me, whatever. But if you notice that I already speak Portuguese, maybe you will start including me in your plans, or your conversation is different. However, on the other side, I would also tell you, like, even if you believe that your level is not that high, like, give it a try. Like, don't hesitate to go there just because you think that you don't have enough level. Even if you know a little bit, just try, and you'll improve there. You'll learn a lot, and it will be a good experience as well.
Uh,
Yes, yeah. Like, it's better to have it, but if you don't have a really good level, give it a try as well. It's worth.
and I also told them that the difference is when you arrive in France, you have to try to speak French. Don't just look for someone that speaks English and instead in stick with them. Like you don't have the level, you will be you will be some kind of joke sometimes, like what's this guy is talking about, like what are he trying to speak. But with a couple months, like, yeah, it's really fast how your mind change. And in a couple months, with the challenge of the exams and the challenge of making friends, you really get in emotion with the French. And I think I arrived at in October, and in January we have a week of exams, everything in French and stuff like this. So you have to learn. It's like you have to do it really fast. And if you are just finding someone, trying to find someone that speaks English with you, you will go really badly in the exams because they are in French. So it's really important that you arrive there with the mentality of, okay, I will speak French from the first day, even if it's everything wrong. Because the French guys, they prefer to correct you in French than talk in English. Like they prefer
That's true.
to say, no, it's not this, you have to speak like this, or no, that's not that word, you have to change the word. They prefer to do this than to talk in English. So you make friends, you will start to make friends even if you talk shit French, because
We were talking in French between us, right? Like,
yeah,
even between two of us, we haven't spoken a lot of English just in the trip, and yeah,
'cause it starts to get really hard to change between the different languages. Like, okay, well, Portuguese, it comes easy, but when you are living in France, even the English, it starts to be hard. Like, okay, what I'm trying to talk about, who I'm trying to talk about. So when I was with Juan, even when we were alone, we talk in French just because we are just talking in French with everyone. So the language was easier in our mind. But like he said, when we went to Budapest and Napoli, we just talk in English because it was easier. We had more, I don't know, we had more confidence to do this. And since we are traveling, the English was easy because outside France, no one talks French. It's just like crazy. They are really close. Like here, everybody talks French and nothing else. But you take a train of, I don't know, you take a train of 1 hour from Paris, 2 hours from Paris, no one's talk French anymore. It's like it disappears. The language disappears You get inside the train, it's French. When you get outside, it's German, it's Spanish, it's Italian, it's another language. So you have to understand that in these countries, you can speak English freely. Like they like. It's not like they don't care about it, but they are less patriotic in this globalization world. Like French is really closed. They don't want the English to be the official language of the country. They really want the French language to continue that. So they translate everything. They change the way they say the words. So sometimes they speak a word in English, but with the French accent, and you simply don't understand. You don't understand. It's like it's really hard to understand the Franglish, like the way they talk about it. Instead, when you cross the country to German, it's like it's a perfect English. Really, you understand everything. You feel like you're at home. Juan can say about it. Like it's a really good English. Of course, they are the English, the American part of German, so they speak really well the English. If you go to the other side, like I did, I went to Dresden. They speak Russian. They
Yeah.
speak a really best Russian than the English. So
Yes.
that's the crazy thing of Europe. In a couple hours, you can be in a place really
Mhm.
different. And here in Brazil, you travel for days and you're still inside Brazil.
It's true
So
that you have there this magnitude of a country, a huge country. We don't have countries that big here.
like
Is
the
there any other
distance,
question that you get there? Like, because I'm watching the time, just in case we
yeah,
speak a lot,
we have 10 minutes. Yeah. Another
I can
question?
stay a bit more. Yeah. Not much. You can get do another one.
Yeah, yeah, go.
Don't raise the hand. Yeah, let's go.
Augusto, Augusto.
Juan, you talked about that you work from data science. Uh,
Mhm.
the database you use to work is like something like Oracle, or is a database that the Airbus created is something more private about
No, no,
the company?
actually, we work in Oracle, and they've been doing this for years. Now we have some other softwares for that. Like, for example, with difference between the missions. I was talking that we are working in this Columbus project, which is part of ISS. It's the International Space Station. Has been there for 30 years, and it's coming down in 7 years, something like that. So Oracle was used for that. And for example, last year we've been migrating it to Postgres because even in these, let's say, big companies, like the price of the software, it's important. So for example, Oracle is super expensive and it's sometimes not worth it yet. So now we're translating everything to Postgres. And then there are uh, some tools to manage the databases that are being developed inside Airbus. But for this kind of big project, we still use the common ones. For Starlab, for example, for the future one, we will use ours. But then it's more or less the same language. Well, to treat the database, you use SQL. What do you know about that? Like, what do you want to know about that?
No, I was curious about the language because I studied some little about Oracle, but I thought that was something more private, that you every project you develop some language, or you.
Mhm. Oracle is a data management system, but there are different ones. For example, I mentioned also this PostgreSQL, which is it's a free one. So Oracle is this old company. It was the most powerful one, etc. So the prices are kind of they're expensive. But inside you use SQL language. So you were talking about language. It's true that SQL, when you use it in Oracle and then you use it in some other data management systems like Postgres, we have MariaDB, we have MySQL. There are some things that differ, but the main stuff it's more or less the same. The structure is the same. SQL is a super easy language. They when I were studying, they call it the language for secretaries. Yeah, yeah, but then it's powerful. It's I was listening to a podcast the other day. It's true that this SQL was invented like 20, 30 years ago and it's still in use. And it doesn't make sense sometimes because the structure of the language is select select this from this. So nowadays, developers, what we need is auto completion. Let's say we need to type as quick as possible. It's something which is not it's not possible with these SQL languages, but it's still news because they still haven't been able to to invent something more efficient than that. And it's easy if you can learn it by yourself, some hours.
Nice. I have a
Understand. Thanks.
question. How how is your life as an engineer? Like after finishing college, how is the feeling of working in a big company and the day-to-day basis, like everyday computer stuff like this? Do you see the projects, like the product you are producing or no? How is the feeling about the expectations you had
Hmm.
from the being an engineer, and now after 10 months of really being a part of something bigger, the living in another country, another city and stuff like this,
Hmm.
what are the expectations, and right now what are you feeling?
Let's start. Okay, so there are differences also between big companies or startups and the smaller companies. For example, I just have the experience of Airbus, which is a huge one. So it's completely different in terms of well, the globality of the company. Then also about the watching what I do. I'm a software engineer, so we're not producing or manufacturing anything like that. But well, I can also talk about it. But okay, so differences between big company and small company. Big company, you're more limited. You do probably just your stuff, and you don't have an overall work, let's say. Whereas when you're working in a smaller company, startup, let's say, as an engineer, it's true that you'll be able to touch everything, to work a little bit on everything, to have an understanding of more or less everything, because you will have a like less people are working, there's less roles defined, and you will have to manage more or less more stuff. And what else? What else? What was I going to say? Uh, yeah, so as limited software. So in this kind of big company, normally there are restrictions of data handling, data sharing, and softwares that you can use, etc. For example, I'm working in defense space. Even if it's space, it's defense. So everything is classified. However, normally in startups, etc., you have really freedom to use the software you want, install whatever you want, and yeah, use the tool that it's better for you. That's differences between the two. Then, how is it to start working? Well, the first is the phase to look for a job. First job is always complicated, even first internship, and so even if you had a good background or whatever, uh, looking for a job or finding a job with zero experience may be complicated at the beginning. You need to throw a lot of resumes, you need to contact a lot of people, you have to make an effort there. But then, okay, you find something. And how's my regular day? I don't know. I just go there and
Juan,
I yeah,
I don't know where you're touching, but it makes a lot of sounds like
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, sorry. So yeah, what was I saying? So my regular in my day to day, it's true that big companies they have these facilities that are huge. They have a lot of. It's not. They're here in Europe. We don't have this concept of big tech that they have in the United States. Well, maybe if you go to Google in Ireland or something like that, but it's not that you go there and there are plenty of snacks for free for you, etc. But we have a good restaurant. You have coffee there. You have some rooms where you can just go there to chill and have coffee with other colleagues. For instance, we have offices for two in our team, so we have a huge office for two of us with our setup there. It's pretty nice. The facilities are pretty good. And yeah, what I do as a data engineer is, well, I work as you mentioned, this Oracle or Postgres database stuff, but I also work with Java, with Python. We develop some applications for this ground software. So yeah, what else what else do you want to know? Sorry, like the
No,
question
no,
was so wide that I don't know where to go.
no. It's that. Yeah, you answered. I think
Yeah,
it's
maybe
interesting.
you can avoid also to work a bit on how to prepare a resume for here for Europe. It's
Yeah.
the cover letter and all this stuff. It's a lot of work also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I can talk. I can talk about this later with them. I already told them that it's different the process of selection in Europe and stuff. Like, does anyone has another question? Is it okay? Okay, so I will make another link just to finish with the question of Guilherme because we have just 4 minutes. Everyone can go inside the another link. Okay, just for 10 minutes maximum. Okay, let's go.
Yep.
Bom
So
dia.
yeah, last question.
Anyone listening?
Yep.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Juan, is a big pleasure to have you here, like in this conversation, like August said in first time. I want to know if you have any tip about the internship or exchange program in the Germany, because me and Marcus doesn't want to do the French exchange program. So if you have any tip about the internship or the exchange program, if they had one.
Yeah. Like about the internship, I can share some. Yeah, I can share a bit my experience. Then about studying, because would you like to come here to study, or are you just interested in coming here for an internship, or as you mentioned?
Both.
Both.
Both options
So,
for me is good.
mhm. So, well, that for that we can ask probably another friend or something and gather more information because I haven't done it. But it may be even easier than in France, I guess, in terms of first language. But then about paperwork and stuff, I have no idea, to be honest. And since I came directly from France, like it was the French university who did all my paperwork when I came here to Germany. However, the process may be similar. It's here in Europe. You have to understand that all the countries have a similar process in terms of well, for people who come from a different continent. So there are a lot of partnerships between countries, and there's a common way of going. Like in, well, especially, well, France, Germany, Spain, UK. Well, not UK probably now, but Italy, etc. So it should be something similar. And also to give you an overview of what are the difference between these big countries here in Europe, or why would you like to come here? We can talk about it also. So I can compare France, Germany, and Spain. Uh, so in terms of, you can ask me about whatever other topic that you're interested in, but salaries, for example, Spain, lowest. Then you have France and Germany. Here you'll find better salaries, even than in France. And I think you'll find like a significant increase of the salaries. I was reading an article on Friday, and the average entry salary here in Germany for a software engineer, it was a software engineer, but you can more or less aerospace engineer, industrial engineer, was around 550, 50 something. So average entry in Spain, I would say 25 for an aerospace engineer. France, I'm not sure, but I guess it's 35. And here in Germany, it's probably 45, 50. And that's the average. Then it depends on what you find and what you're able to negotiate. But for example, me, I even made it more, so it's possible, and I had zero experience. Then cost of living, France, I think is the highest in terms of food, buying at the supermarket, restaurants, and services in general. Whereas in the difference between Spain and Germany, it depends on the city in Spain, because Spain is normally the cheapest. But if you're going to Madrid, for example, prices are similar than in big cities in France or Germany even. Then weather, which is maybe important for you, Brazilians. There's nothing to like Spain. There we win it. These French and these Germans, they have no idea. It's fucking shitty. Like, but however, it's not that bad. Like, it's true that you need to be used to colder weather. It rains. But, it's October now here in Germany. It's not that bad. I mean, but it's colder and it
Yeah.
rains and well, depends. It affects may affect your mood a bit, but it's nothing you cannot manage or handle.
The
What
first
else?
winter
What else are
is
you interested in knowing? Like, let's throw topics to compare the different countries.
yeah, the first winter is terrible. Yeah. The first one is
Yeah,
really hard.
came here the second of January last year. Complicated, but then you're used to it. I mean, it's not that terrible. I come from Spain, and well, we always criticize, well, we'll never go there because it's terrible, the weather, it's unbearable. And then it's, well, you have some months where it's true that rains much and it's colder, but you get used to it. What else? What
Okay.
else? Food, Germany, shitty. France, well, Spain top. People.
The food Germany, not is good, no.
Here in Germany, they don't have a culture of food. I would say it's like
Yeah.
well, there's some stuff you will find a lot of international food. Of course, that's true, in good restaurants, international restaurants. But they don't have this culture of something from their own, which is good. I mean, a sausage is not something special,
Yeah.
or
They have
or
a lot
a
of
fish sandwich.
potato, pork, sausage. It's just this. They don't have a
Yeah, and
croissant or something
the
like this.
quality of food is not that bad, not that good.
But in
France,
French,
sorry.
in French, do you don't like the food?
I was talking about Germany, but in France, like the quality is way better of the food in general, vegetables, fruits, meat. It's better. But in terms of, I mean, maybe people say that French kitchen, like cooking, is the best and so, but they don't have many own dishes that I would say, no, Juliano, I don't know. Then talking about bakery, France, crazy. Like
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Like best you will ever find, no matter where you are. Like there's no comparison. Like you eat a 80 cents croissant in France, and you won't find a better croissant in Germany or in Spain or for 3 euros.
Yeah.
It's impossible. Cheese crazy in France also. Bread and all this stuff crazy. Yeah. Then in Spain you have well, cheaper stuff and better, really good quality too. But well, wouldn't recommend to go to Spain, for example, to work directly because of what I mentioned of the conditions at the beginning. But it's also maybe interesting in terms of cultural learning and meeting people and discovering new places. It's definitely worth it to visit Spain.
Nice. Okay, I think it's enough. I really like to thank you, Juan, for being here. It's a couple of months that we don't talk, seeing each other. It's really interesting to have this conversation to keep the friendship, to keep the relationship we created. When we for the other ones we were really brothers. Like we are two foreigners. Juan had some Spanish guys that were there, and I have some Brazilians. But me and him, we really connected in the first time. We played soccer together. We did a lot of stuff together, and then we encourage each other to talk French and to make some friends and to really have the experience of the internship. Um, some of the other ones left after 1 year, and we came to the second, and then some of our friends were doing their internship, so it was like me and him, 6 months really connected, and then he went to Munich, and I went to Paris, and but we stayed in touch for all the time, and it's really nice. He really wants me to go to German and to be there. He wants to come here in Brazil also to know. So we had good relationship. So it's really nice for me to have some
Thank you.
students or uh, you guys from the university that wants to learn from me, and for me to have some friends to make this connection. Now you can talk to him in another moment, like, okay, I'm going to German, what should I do, or stuff like this. He can help him, because with networking is always like spider stuff. Now you know Juan, and Juan knows a lot of people, so maybe Juan knows someone that can help you. So is that the way it goes? And yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Juan,
thank
for
you
your
very much
time
for
and stuff.
inviting me. It was great. I hope we discussed something that can be interesting for you. If there are many other questions or whatever, we can schedule another meeting whenever. And well, thank you, Juliano. Uh, let's have a call soon again and see us more often. I really appreciate you, Juliano. I really encourage you to listen to him. He knows a lot. He's really invested in everything he does, and he really likes this mentoring stuff and involves himself a lot. I know he works a lot on it. So it's a really great opportunity, I think, for guys who are studying at university to have a guy like him. And thank you for inviting me. And well, good luck with studies. It's hard. Engineering is hard, but you'll manage. And it's almost there. Good luck. And Juliano, see you soon. We talk privately. Ciao.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, guys. I
Love
hope
you.
you have
Thank you,
enjoyed
Juan.
it.
Gracias.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Juan.
That's just one.
Thank you, Juan.
Obrigado.
Now you can speak Portuguese to say goodbye.
Obrigado.
Yeah, tchau, tchau.
Ciao. Goodbye, I don't
Falou!
remember, bro. Boa
Ciao.
tarde.
It's ciao. Yeah,
Tarde.
yeah. It's good. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Ciao.
See you.